Please note that work on the primary connections of the transformer, that is, where the house network is connected with 230 volts of alternating current, may only be carried out by qualified electricians. There is a risk of electric shock due to high electrical voltages and currents. Begin the installation of the Slotfix LED lighting with the supplied aluminum profile. Cut the profile to the required length and be sure to take into account the later surface construction, for example with tile adhesive and tiles. Consider the type of installation in the mounted wall niche depending on the later construction. There are two options for this. For later cladding, for example with tiles, attach the aluminum profile for the thicker construction. Directly from the inside onto the niche surface with the grid structure facing forward. For almost flush installation, for example with plaster, attach the aluminum profile for a thinner construction from the outside, in this case from above, through a cutout. This way, the later profile top edge sits almost flush with the inner wall niche surface. The cutout can be made very easily with a utility knife. The profile is then inserted from above and glued to the grid structure from the outside, for example with assembly adhesive. In the next step, drill a hole in the corner that is suitable for the routing of the electrical wires, according to their installation situation. For this, use a wood drill bit of the appropriate size, for example. Subsequently, the aluminum profile is mounted as described, depending on the type of installation. First, guide the electrical wire of the LED strip through the hole. When installing the LED strip, be sure to note that the sealed LED strips for wet areas are thicker in width due to the encapsulation material. Therefore, they must only be slid in from the side into the aluminum profile and not pressed in from above as shown. Otherwise, the solder contacts at the connection point could be damaged, leading to a defect in the LED strip. For the sealed LED strips, it is not necessary to remove the protective film from the self-adhesive back, as it usually fixes itself in the profile. Finally, install the cover strip, from which you previously removed the scratch protection film. There are several options for mounting the transformer, or trafo for short. The simplest solution is to mount the transformer from behind on the drywall. Then connect the wires of the LED strip and the house network to the transformer. Due to the M and F markings on our transformer, direct mounting on normal, flammable surfaces such as wood or drywall, as well as in hollow walls, is permissible. The much more elegant solution allows for access for future maintenance or repairs if necessary. For this, a flush-mounted box is installed in the wall below the ceiling and within reach of the electrical wiring of the LED strip. In this box, the wires of the LED strip and the house connection are then connected to the transformer. A small marking of the installation position of the box cover allows it to be easily found later. This way, even after years, a possible replacement or modification of all electrical components of the Slotfix LED kit is possible. To connect the electrical wires, remove the two covers by unscrewing the screws. Loosen the two smaller screws on the underlying contacts slightly. On the secondary side with the low voltage to the LED strip marked with SEC, connect the black wire to the negative contact and the red wire to the positive contact above it by inserting them into the contact opening below the slightly loosened screws. To secure them, the screws are then tightened firmly and the wires now hold securely in the contact. Be sure to ensure that the uninsulated wire ends sit as flush and correctly as possible in this contact terminal. Only in this way is a flawless electrical connection ensured. Proceed similarly on the primary side with the alternating current of the house connection, marked with PRI. Connect the blue wire of the neutral conductor to the contact N and the brown wire of the live conductor, also known as the phase, to the contact L. Depending on the electrical installation of the phases in the building, the wire there may also be black or gray. Then reattach the two covers over the contact terminals. Again, note that the electrical connection must only be carried out by qualified electrical professionals. Now seal the passage of the electrical line in the wall niche with acrylic if you are, for example, continuing with plaster work. In wet areas, the installation of a sealing collar is required for proper sealing. Here, it is advisable not to place the drilling directly in the corner, but rather with some distance on the back wall. In the case of additional coverings, such as with tiles, seal the transitions to the aluminum profile and the open areas with silicone after installation. We wish you much enjoyment with your new Slotfix wall niche lighting.